Yeah. Enough of that lovely music. I know we love it. I love it too. Yeah. Good day. What's today? Good day for let's see where we are. We're at Wednesday, March the 21st. Wednesday, March the 21st at 9:58 p.m. IE in the evening. I would like to say welcome very much to everybody. Thank you for watching. Instead of wasting time, why don't we get right into it? Today, what I want to do is pretty much review a YouTube video that I came across called "The Coming Civil War in South Africa," and it's presented by somebody from the US, FreeStartr. Let me. I tell you what, we might as well get into it as soon as possible. So that's the movie. That's the beginning of it. This is the guy's. There we go. That's his logo from his YouTube channel, right? And just to give you a better idea, that is his YouTube channel right there, FreeStartr TV. The Coming Civil War in South Africa. Now, I haven't watched it yet. It's 7 minutes long, and I'm going to hopefully correct a lot of things, or perhaps endorse a lot of things. I myself personally have a history of being born and raised and spending the first 2 decades of my life in South Africa, in Cape Town specifically. So I kind of have my finger on the pulse of what's happening there, and I want to see what these people have to say. For the record, I understand why Cyril Ramaphosa and Julius Malema and that whole crowd, I understand why they want to kill the Boer. I really do, because when I lived in South Africa under the National Party, under the Dutch Reformed Church, pretty much, I hated the Boer. I wanted to kill the Boer. I hated their language. I hated their culture. I hated everything to do with them. So let's, Julius Malema is kind of, I think, my generation. I've got to check up to see how old he is, but I think he's my generation. I think he understands. He saw firsthand what happened under apartheid, just like white people like myself who dared to open the eyes and have a look. So what I want to do is get to this movie and start running it. Enjoy.
White man, you rascal! All of you, you must die!
Hello, I'm Simon Roach, and I represent the world's largest non-state civil defense organization. It's called Suidlanders in South Africa. We represent the white people of South Africa who are presently being told that they can expect to see a genocide against them. They're being told this by their own political leaders, the African National Congress of Nelson Mandela fame, the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, Marxist Party. Many of you will be familiar with this anti-white narrative, this anti-white dialectic. The government ministers in our country are talking openly about a genocide against white people, a civil war based upon race directed at white people. Government ministers Just a few days ago, YouTube published a video against whites, racism, all of these things with which you're familiar. It concludes with the words, "It's time to teach whites a hard lesson now." Can you imagine? Around about the 6th of April 2015 in Cape Town, our current president, Jacob Zuma, stated that all of South Africa's problems can be traced back to the arrival of whites in 1652. As one black man put it to me, "You know, Simon, in our ears, that means if you weren't here, everything would be okay. There would be no poverty and there would be no crime." It's an instigation. Jacob Zuma is also known for singing a song which goes, "Kill the farmer, kill the boer," and another song which runs, "Bring me my machine gun," implying the same purpose. This is our president. This is how we live. He's
I got something to say about that, actually. You're a fucking crybaby, Mr. Saitlander. I'm sorry, I forget your name. You're a fucking crybaby. Do you remember what you did to the black people? No, maybe not you, but do you remember what you didn't stop happening to the black people under apartheid? Do you remember how brutal, how oppressive, how humiliating, how dehumanizing black people were treated in a way that I wouldn't treat an animal. I'd never treated an animal. I saw people treat animals better than they treated black people, and it was the way of life. Everybody sort of, "Well, I don't see anything, it's all okay." I am personally, having lived there, especially during the 1976 uprising, I was absolutely sure at one point that the black population were just going to explode. I mean, we would have been absolutely outnumbered if they had. And I was pretty sure that the white population, of which I was part of, was going to be wiped out. Just wiped out. Just because of the anger that these people rightly felt. Absolutely, justifiably felt. And when I see Julius Malema spouting off, kill the boer, kill the boer, kill the boer, I get it. I really do get it, because I feel the same way. Or at least, let me put this into perspective. When I lived in South Africa under apartheid, which basically was a group of people predominantly from the Dutch Reformed Church. So the Dutch Reformed Church basically made policy in South Africa during apartheid. I hated that. Number one, it was Christian. Number two, it was against freedom. Number three, it was oppressive. It was brutal. It was, and I couldn't understand why it was okay. I was a little kid, but still, we all saw it. And as I grew up, when I was 15, 14, I knew I was gonna get out. I had to get out of there. Otherwise, because what was the future in 1970s, early 1970s? South Africa was pretty bleak. This was the kind of feeling that I had towards the government at the time. Kill the Boer, because the Boer was the government. That they were arrogant bastards, arrogant as fuck. I've got stories. I've got personal stories. I was in a position to see a lot of the stuff from just by virtue of the job that I had, which took me into industrial areas. As I used to work as an auditor, or as an articled clerk, really, for an accounting firm, and part of your training was to go out on site to clients and conduct audits. Large clients like textile manufacturing factories and motorcar dealerships and furniture outlets, you know, just big places. And during the course of that experience, I got to see how workers were, you know, treated, and how much they were paid, and what they had to do, and the really fucked up, tough life that these people had. Really tough shit life, living in these really crappy shacks, corrugated iron shacks, no amenities, you know, just horrible, just so fucking horrible. I get it. I really get that. I get why this is happening, and we should get back to it, I think. Let's fade it in, baby, and off we go.
He's not alone, though, in his public agitation against whites. On the 7th of November 2016, the leader of the Marxist Economic Freedom Fighters Party in our parliament, Julius Malema, was recorded saying to a crowd of supporters, "I am not calling for the slaughter of whites, yet." As another black man, a leader in South Africa, said to me, that means that he will call upon his supporters to slaughter whites, Simon. Indeed, Julius Malema told another group of supporters that when the EFF party assumes power, the Afrikaner white people of South Africa, who've been here since the 6th of April 1652, will be relegated to a separate status, an apartheid. He said it repeatedly.
Yeah, but that's okay. No big fucking deal. It's fine. You did it to them. They're doing it to you. What's the problem? You didn't have any problem. Listen, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Okay? So if you, it doesn't really matter that you've been there since the fucking 6th of April, 1652 or whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's what you did during the time that you were there, or from the time that you were there. And you were not friendly. You were exclusionary. You were divisive. You were separatist. You were fucking Dutch reformed. You were fucking religious. You are fucking Christians. So fuck you. And your crybaby tactics that they're gonna kill the whites. Of course they're gonna kill the whites. You fucking deserve it.
And emphatically, as if that was not enough, one of the heads of the African National Congress's private militia, the Spear of the Nation, or Mkhonto weSizwe, a man by the name of Themba Mavundla, called upon young blacks to sign up for military training in preparation for an expected war against whites. This is really happening in our country. It gets worse. Our parliamentary record recently admitted the statistic that it is 2.02 times, in other words, more than double, likely that a South African farmer will be murdered than that a South African policeman will die. Some of these things are difficult to talk about.
Yeah. Listen. During apartheid, there were white farmers. There were many white farmers. And how well did they treat their workers? Were there some that were particularly brutal towards the workers? Were there any at all who were particularly nice? In fact, I actually know that there was. I know of one farmer. I haven't spoken to her for a while, but somebody from the Karoo who is a very, very, very nice, inclusive person, Afrikaner. But that's now. I mean, how they were well, she wouldn't have been. It would have been, they would have been inherited a farm, I guess. I'm trying to put like the time thing into perspective, the whole chronology, because it's kind of tough sitting here 4 or 5 decades later, and reliving, all these the things that I saw when I was a young child or a young man. A lot of the stuff is flashback. Oh my God, did I really see that? So anyway, this guy's going to start crying now about some BS that he's he's scared he's scared that he's gonna be killed by the blacks, and he thinks he's got a reason to cry, but he doesn't.
We live in a society that is so perverse that the moment that you examine what's happening, you recoil from it. Let's begin with a 3-year-old girl being raped by 4 men. And as the post-mortem autopsy revealed, she survived that rape. A 3-year-old girl, she survived. So her attackers, her rapists, these grown men, bundled her up in newspaper, poured gasoline on it and set it alight. That's how she died in the end. Or a 4-year-old girl, crucified to her parents' farmhouse's kitchen table, and then raped by 3 men, while her mommy and daddy lay gurgling in their own blood on the kitchen floor. These things happen in South Africa, and they're not isolated incidents. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of such incidents. That's how it is that we get to the statistics that I've been sharing with you. That's how it's possible that the likelihood of a white person in South Africa being murdered by a black person is 1,370% higher.
Oh, please. This guy is just driving me nuts with his crybaby bullshit. If he wants to start spouting statistics about what's going on now, that's fine. Why doesn't he compare them against statistics to what happened to the black person over 40 years of oppressive white Afrikaner, Boer, Christian, Dutch Reformed authoritarianism? It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. The police. What it was like there basically is you were scared. You're scared. You keep your nose out of politics, because if you don't, the police are onto you. House arrest and beatings, and people who are under house arrest, and you want to leave the country eventually. You just gotta sort of pretend that you're. Oh, I don't see anything. Nothing. No, nothing now. Now this guy's gonna start bitching and crying about what's all these statistics that he's bringing up about these brutal, horrible rapes and stuff and murders. Yes, they happen. Yes, they definitely happen. But I am. Look, I'm not 100% sure, but I can pretty much bet that those people that get beat up like this, brutalized, it's retribution. It could be personal, the way they were treated by these white people in the past, or it just could be momentary rage and an unlucky person getting killed. But I do understand the rage. I really, really, really understand the rage, because I can still identify with the rage that I felt as a white person under the white government, seeing what they were doing to their own population. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But anyway, this dude, what the hell's his name? This crybaby dude, let him fucking finish. Let him finish. Go ahead. Oops. I suppose I better press that.
Than the likelihood of any American being murdered. It's incredible. But that's what we live with every day. That's why we have to take steps to protect ourselves. Because in this country, rape and murder is not a threat. It's not something abstract and remote. It's something that all of us have experienced, directly or indirectly, perhaps an attempted murder. And so when we contemplate civil war, nationwide anarchy in this country, we contemplate it as an imminent reality. Something for
an imminent reality. What are you talking about? Listen. Actually, let me bring this dude back in. And let me do this. An imminent reality of civil war. Well, for over 40 years of white domination, of the white regime, pretty much terrorizing the black population over 40 years, and the arrests and the tortures and the killings by the police, by the intelligence service, over 40 years of that. You never said a word, your family never said a word, your extended family never said a word, your ancestral family never said a word. They continued mistreating the black population, treating them like shit. Your historical, situational sub-story doesn't sit well with anyone. Maybe your supporters. But civil war. You think you're gonna win a civil fucking war? Are you fucking kidding? There's what, 4 million white people against 40 million others with an army with first world weapons. You fucking kidding me?
For which we must prepare today. Every little bit of help that we receive from the outside world, from the few friends that we have, because we don't have friends in established political parties, we don't have friends in the media.
Look at that. Zuma blames Christianity for South Africa's problems. Damn rights. You know, for once, Jacob, you got it right. Absolutely, it's Christianity, and it's specifically Dutch Reformed Christianity. Die Nederlandse gereformeerde kerk. I think that's the way it is. You see, I grew up in that country where English and Afrikaans were like equal in stature, in officialdom. But I rebelled, and I refused as much as possible to speak the Boer language, Afrikaans. I hated it. And I hated anybody who even was Afrikaans. It's insane. It's insane. Africa is fucking insane.
In big business, the friends we have are the people who are watching this video. And every little bit of your help takes us a step further to protecting the women, children, old people, and non-able-bodied people who are going to suffer the very worst of the war that is coming in South Africa.
Please. Fear-mongering. That's just fear-mongering, nothing else. Yeah. Yeah, that's just nothing but fear mongering, and it will. I don't think that it's going to achieve anything that he wants to achieve. I thought it was a bit of a pretty weak effort by that guy. That was it, pretty much. What are we on? 26 minutes. Let's keep it under 30. So I'm going to leave it there. If you do have any comments, I noticed that only Lobster's watching in the outside chat with popcorn. So there's not going to be any comments. If you watch this and you have a personal story, personal history, personal connection, please leave a comment. And I would really like you to subscribe. I think I've got a sort of an out. One of these here. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to suggest that you perhaps subscribe to my channel, share this video everywhere that you could possibly think of, and like the video. That'll be nice. And if you've made it this far, I thank you again. And I will see you next time.